In the last episode of Sound for Video, we talked about a couple of things you can do to really up the game for your sound. And a couple of those things include getting the microphone as close as possible to your talent, and secondly, to use quality preamplifiers better than what's provided in your camera. And one of the ways you can do that, of course, is to use a lavalier microphone into an external recorder, such as the Zoom H1. We'll talk about that in a little bit more detail, but the first question is how do you get yourself into a lavalier microphone that won't break the bank? There's one really ubiquitous option out there that a lot of people talk about and that you can find lots of information about online, especially on YouTube, and that is the AudioTechnica ATR3350. And I did a previous review on that, so I encourage you to go check that out if you want the details, but the short version is, it's okay. It's better than your camera's mic, but there are a couple of downsides. Number one, it has a battery, and it's a fairly uncommon battery. It's a little watch button battery. And as soon as that starts to run down, you start getting a lot more noise in your signal. Number two, it has a 20-foot cable. Some people, I think, see that as an advantage because you don't need an external recorder. But again, since we're trying to really sort of up our game here and we're using an external recorder, that long cable actually becomes a little bit of a liability because it introduces more noise. It's an unbalanced cable, which means that it doesn't shield from noise very well. And in fact, I find that it does add quite a bit of noise. And so those are a couple of downsides on it. On the positive side, it's only a $20 to $25 US microphone available on Amazon and lots of other places online. Another option I found recently is the Giant Squid Audio Omni lav mic. And it's a mono mic, meaning it's not stereo. It runs about $30 to $40 US and is available online at Giant Squid Audio Lab. Just do a search for that in Google. You'll certainly find it. Also available on eBay, and they're starting to sell them on Amazon as well. So how does the Giant Squid Audio Lav mic compare to the AudioTechnica? Well, first of all, it doesn't require a battery, which I think is a fantastic feature. That battery just was a kind of a pain. And as it started to drain, you started getting a lot more noise in the signal. Second of all, it uses a shorter cable. You can see here that it's only about 5 feet as opposed to the 20-foot cable or 6-meter cable that comes with the AudioTechnica. The reason that's a benefit, it's also going to be a little bit of a cost. It's a benefit because you introduce a lot less noise into the signal. So that's really nice. The bad side is you can't plug it directly into your camera. But again, since we're trying to up our game here and we're recording into an external recorder, that's not really a problem. It's actually less cable to manage and it's a lot easier to keep it out of the way. Probably the biggest benefit is that this microphone, the Giant Squid Audio, requires less input gain from your external recorder. So for example, with the Giant Squid Audio, I only need to put the input level to 65 out of 100, whereas with the AudioTechnica, I have to bump that up closer to 90 to 95. And so because I'm pushing the preamplifiers a lot less, I'm getting a much cleaner signal. And that's a tremendous benefit. So you get a much better audio signal in the end. What that also means is because of that less noise and less harshness and less distortion, it requires a lot less equalization, which is also another benefit because you're getting, again, a cleaner signal and the final results are much better. So to sum all this up really quickly, this episode was all recorded with the Giant Squid Audio Omni Mono Lav mic, so you can be the judge of what you think it sounds like. This is what I would say. If you really want to step up your sound, I would get an external recorder like the Zoom H1 and the Giant Squid Audio Omni Lav mic. Fantastic combination. About 140 bucks all said with the recorder and the mic. They ship worldwide, which is a fantastic benefit as well, and the shipping is very affordable. And then likewise, if you're doing interviews and you have 2 people, they also have a stereo version of this mic so that you can give, it includes 2 heads and you give one to each person, and it records beautifully into a stereo recorder like the Zoom H1 with no problem at all. So I would say definitely a great buy, definitely better than the AudioTechnica 3350 and 35S. Thanks for watching the show. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for more great tips on filmmaking and photography, and we'll talk to you again soon.